Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about responding to debt collector lawsuit summons. I did some research and there's over 4 million plus. Since 2007, 2008, there's been 4 million plus debt collector lawsuits filed every year. Not over that period of time, every year. 4 million plus people have been sued by debt collection companies. I want to go over some. Let me just tell you what you are required to do, because so many people are confused about what they should and what they shouldn't do, how they should respond, should they not respond, what will happen if you don't respond, what will happen if you lose. All of these questions come about, and I want to answer them. In just so you know, I'm looking at just today. This is today, October 22nd. I have over 40 people who have contacted my company with questions about getting sued by a third-party debt collector. These are companies, collectors, who buy your debt from credit card companies or from personal loans or from bad checks, payday loans, auto repo deficiency debt, medical debt. All of these different companies, all they do is they go out there and they buy debt that original creditors who are in the business of doing their business, not in the business of debt collection, they'll just sell it off for pennies on the dollar, and these companies are making billions of dollars going out there filing these lawsuits. Now, something that you need to understand is that you have to respond to the court summons, or you're going to put yourself in a bad situation. I've seen videos, I've seen where people say they're just going to run, they're not going to be able to do nothing to me, I don't have no money, all of this stuff. Now, not having any money, not having a job, being on Social Security or SSI, retired, all of that is exemption. But even if you're in that bucket where you have those exemptions, you still need to notify them so you can stop them from proceeding with what they're doing. You could do that with a phone call, you could do that with a certified letter, but you need to do that, because if you do nothing, they're going to proceed and they're going to make your life a living hell. Even if you're exempt, but you try to do something, try to sell your house or whatever, they're going to be able to have that lien on your property, when you could have stopped it by just letting them know that you're exempt. But now let's go into the other bucket. Let's go into the other bucket of where people are at. Let me turn down my phone here. The other bucket, if you don't respond, you are making it a living hell for yourself if you don't respond to that debt collector lawsuit summons. There are people who say don't do anything, they're not going to be able to collect from you, this and that, all of that stuff. And I come back and I say to them, my response is, you're telling me you're not planning on doing nothing with your life over the next 20 years. So you're not planning to do nothing with your life over the next 20 years, because if you get a judgment, it's going to be 20 years that they can go after you, and they can keep revising that judgment and keep it up to 20 years to be able to come and collect from you. Also, just in case you don't know this, if you own a home and you have a judgment against you and you try to sell that home, the title company will call anyone who has a judgment lien against your name or your property. And any of the loan proceeds that come out from that sale of that property, they're going to pay them first. They're going to pay them first. So you never know how good your life is going to be years from now. And I can tell you, if you're in the mindset of not being able to do anything for the next 20 years, you're more than likely not going to do anything for the next 20 years. You're going to be in the same position. But if you're like what I hope you are like, because you're watching my channel for information, is that you're not looking at staying the same over the next 20 years. So you want to do something about this debt collection lawsuit that you have sitting right in front of your face, or on your kitchen table, or that where you stuck it where you put all of the other mail that you don't want to deal with right now. So the first thing that you're responsible for doing when you are served by a debt collection, when you're served a debt collection lawsuit, it doesn't matter if it's original creditor or a debt collector, is that you are required to respond to that debt collection summons. If you don't respond to it, it is just like you're making it where you have two entities against you. You got the debt collector, and then you had the courts against you, because you're just disregarding. You don't even respect the summons request for you to respond from the court. And they're sending you documents. They're not just saying, hey, only respond to them. No, this is in the court system now. They've married the court with this debt that you have by paying a fee and getting getting a court or a judge assigned to hear that case. So you can't just sit there and not do anything about it. The next thing is, you need to educate yourself on everything that a debt collection attorney is supposed to present when they're suing you in court. If you don't know what that is, you need to look it up, because there are requirements on what they need to present if they're going to sue you in court. If they don't have those documents, you can actually stop your case from even starting, because they are required. It's not where they could just come to court and say, we're suing you for this debt and here's the amount. They have to give you certain documents. The next step is that you have a right to, number one, respond to all of the allegations. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, even though they may seem so simple, like you live in this county, you have to respond to all of those. But you also have a right to set up an affirmative defense, which is your counter to the whole lawsuit. And what I've taught people to do and help people do for themselves, and a service that my company provides helping people out with this information, is to let people know that you can actually build a case against the documents that they presented. How wonderful would it be if a debt collector submitted a case and you were able to destroy their case, blow it up, simply because of the documents that they presented. They presented these documents. You didn't come up with the documents. They presented those documents. Happens all the time, but you got to know what you're looking for. So if you have a debt collection lawsuit, what I want you to do is I want you to go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. In the bottom corner, click on live chat. Type in your name, type in your info, and I want you to upload a copy of your summons, and we'll do a free review and let you know how we can either help you, or we might just give you information so you can help yourself. Our goal, our mission is to just get the information in your hands, and you can decide what you want to do with it. But just so you know, there was an organization of judges, National Judge Organization, and they stated that over 95% of the cases brought by debt collection law firms, 95% of them were ending up in default judgments, and about 75% of them didn't even have the complete documentation to even bring the suit or to win the lawsuit. To win the lawsuit. So think about that. 75%. So if you have a case, you could potentially be in that 75%, or like they said, with 95% was default judgments, they didn't even put forth any type of defense to potentially win their case. And the other 5%, those were people who knew exactly what to do, and only 1% of the 5% actually put forth a case to where they could win the case against the debt collector. And it all came down to educating themselves on what to do or getting help from someone who knew what to do. So if you're being sued by a third party debt collector or even sued by the original creditor, go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. In the bottom corner, click on live chat, leave your information, leave your phone number, upload a copy of your summons. We are here to help you, and we'll give you the information to help you out. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments. If you need help with your credit, you can always visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website the3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations letter, debt validation letter, and cease and desist collection activities letter. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com. Please do me a favor and like this video.